This is your weekly YouTube channel audit live stream. All you need to do is use the correct link in the description, fill out the form, and we'll consider your channel for review. That's right, channel reviews are free, but you can send us a super chat and watch us discuss your question live on air. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We will share with you our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to give a massive shout out and thanks to our moderators who do an awesome job every single live stream. And that's your onboarding done. What channels have you brought us this week? All right, let's get this channel audit live stream up and running. Welcome everybody once again to vidIQ, your home for YouTube education, inspiration, motivation, and a little bit of fun and comedy along the way. I want to say a huge thank you, and I appreciate your patience for the extra 24 hours it took you to join this live stream. We are on a Wednesday again, and we're still trying to figure out whether Tuesdays or Wednesdays might be best. Let us know in the comments if you have a preference. Maybe we can accommodate you a little bit more as we try to do so often. Let's welcome in some co-hosts and some guests here. First of all, my co-host for the week. He hosts, co-hosts. We kind of mix and match, swap it around. But today, Dan gets to enjoy more critiquing of the channels and less of the knob dialing and button pressing. There he is. Dan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I had some excellent pancakes. I think, as I was telling you in our meeting yesterday, it was Shrove Tuesday. Honey, vanilla, what else? Cheese.
On a pancake?
All of that on a pancake. Well,
what kind of cheese?
I think it was cheddar cheese from what
on a pancake.
Yeah, why not? It melts into it nicely. Delicious.
Does anyone else put cheddar cheese on their pancakes? Show of hands.
Let us know in the comments. I mean, we often follow about something, Dan, and it appears as if it's cheese on pancakes this week.
Cream cheese, maybe, but cheddar cheese
may lead into memes of the week. If you can think about that later on, who knows?
Anybody else? In
the meantime, I think we've already got an opinion from our semi-regular guest host, Interloper. Cheese doesn't belong on pancakes, apparently. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with a big sign from John Scott there. Hey, John. Hey. How's it going?
How's it going? I'm just going to do the stream like this. Just
Brilliant. I mean, clip away. For those of you who are not familiar with John Scott and his work, let's just bring up a lovely website, well, a YouTube page here. And John, just tell us who you are and why on earth you're here.
Hi, my name is John Scott. I used to work for vidIQ, but then they kicked me out, so I started my own channel.
Now, yeah, can we just say that it's 100% not true?
I found some success in short form, and I started to dive real deep. And then I started helping businesses and creators in short form. And now, and then I bought the domain shorts.expert so nobody else could. And then now I claim to be that person. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, we didn't kick him out. We put him on a rocket and boosted him out.
True that.
Maybe. I don't know. I was trying to make that sound funny. Right. I think what we should do is audit some channels. But the one bit of housekeeping I would like you to check is we've put a poll in the live stream, which is asking you how you would prefer us to audit your channels. Because we often have this dilemma about what's more important, detail or volume of audits. So can you vote on the poll that is on right now? And then maybe 10 or 20 minutes, we'll try and come to some sort of consensus about how we're going to do the rest of the live stream. But first of all, we do need to audit the channels that were submitted first in the forms. Also, quick congratulations, John, when you hit 3,000 subscribers, whenever that is, must be pretty soon. We'll move on to the first channel that we're actually auditing. It was also appearing.
We have a technical difficulty going on here. Just for everybody's reference, usually we have the chat and we can pull your comments on stage. It's frozen for us. The chat is working for you, and I can see it in another YouTube tab. But this chat froze a long time ago. So I don't know if we can pull up super chats today or not. I don't know how that's going to work.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I see that.
Ah, well, that one is working.
StreamYard. Come on.
Anyway, just sorry, just a bit of a programming thing to throw Rob off, but I just noticed.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Appreciate it as always. Where was I? Right, Discovering Britain. They are just 4 subscribers short from the 1,000 subscriber milestone, which is going to be like a big celebration point for them, especially considering that some of their videos already have tens of thousands of views, which means that they're probably close on the 4,000 hours of watch time as well, if not already there. To briefly introduce this channel to you, they are, I'm on the wrong stuff now, they are a channel that is targeted toward males, 40 plus, because we've changed our original question here to try and get a bit of understanding of your channel. What do they think is their biggest YouTube obstacle right now? Finding new subject matter to retain and increase audience. And what part of the channel would they like us to focus on? They're basically asking us what other subjects I should include in the future. So I guess we need like a bit of an overview of what their channel is about, which is showcasing different aspects of Britain using drones, 360 cameras, and so on. So maybe it's like I don't want to say artistic view of the UK landscape, but using new technology that they have available to them. And we can certainly see that in some of the thumbnails. They all look as if they're drone shots here. And we have some very spiky numbers here. Like when they are focused on particular parts of the UK, in particular this bridge, which got tens of thousands of views, both of those videos. And then they have other ones where they're looking at a church, which get barely 800 views. Mm-hmm. So there is this kind of challenge here of, is it particular places of interest that are capturing the audience, or is it the particular style of the content? And I'm kind of throw that to you, Dan, first, and see what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I think like the thing that's really standing out to me right now is like what is working with these drone thumbnails and what's not. And what's interesting is like when they talk about like shipping and big like vehicles and stuff like that, like you have the heavy lifting giants, those drone shots working, the views are really good on those videos. But then when you have that church video,
that's a good point.
It could be a subject matter thing, but you can barely see it. And I think they should be a little more selective, at least with like how far you zoom out, depending on the subject. Like that church, you could fly that drone a lot closer to that church and get a much better picture of it. And that alone, I think, would help that thumbnail.
So now that you said that, Dan, just like looking at the most popular content, it is all epic construction as well in the aerial shots, be it a ship, a train, or in this case, like a impressive or devastating state of the environment. There's only one, or there's one or two where the wildlife is the capturing moment and gets tons of views. So perhaps, you know, when they're talking about what should I cover next, it is like impressive bridges, aqueducts, buildings, train stations, that type of thing, maybe a place to target. Good observation there, Dan. John, anything you want to just chime in there with, I don't know, the general thumbnail opinions, critique?
I hate to get so deep into it already, but with a lot of these new updates to the YouTube algorithm, just to make it simple, they don't want interchangeability between channels. So if you take your video, put it on another channel, if anybody won't notice, like if nobody notices that, then that's a problem for you. And so they boost things that offer new information that's like novel and kind of original, for lack of a better term. And when I see this channel, the things that do go viral, that do really well, are things that I feel like I could only get from this channel. Right. Whereas all the other ones that are kind of just like drone footage, hidden gems of Britain, like I think honestly I could probably find that on another one. And so the ones that really stick out to me are the ones that I think I'm seeing for the very first time.
Yeah, it's an interesting observation. You also used the word there, John, interchangeability. Where have you picked that up from? Because I've heard this term as well. And I just want to check that this is like a YouTube term or it's come from a certain creator, that being Think Media.
So maybe it came from Think Media, but it came from my Discord. People were talking about an email.
Yeah.
And so okay. it could just be attributed to Sean, and that's possible. But that's where I heard it from.
Cool.
A lot of the data that I get comes from my Discord, and I kind of poll a lot of my channels and get their analytics, and then I start making my own observations because it's the only way you can really get any solid information.
Okay, so I think in answering the question on the form, it is this idea of perhaps maybe drone footage is half a decade to a decade old now. So like finding that particular point of interest that's new to the audience, that being the almost, I guess, what would you call it? The human element of the drone shots, the building, the vehicle, the ship, the plane, maybe making that the focus of your attention more than just the more traditional things that they may be finding in their footage would be things to look at. Maybe we just look at one of these videos. Dan, I'll let you pick. Do you have a preference?
Let's look at the one with the big the Crow Sutton Bridge on the right. Because they one over. They cover
this one.
Yeah.
Right.
It has a lot of views. They cover this topic the best, it seems.
Okay. It is interesting on this like little splash intro thing that they are highlighting the bridges, the ships, the trains. Now they post 18th century stuff, but then they have the castle as well, and maybe that's one that doesn't fit into their topic of interest for the audience.
Very Star Trek.
Yeah.
Hi, folks. So this morning I'm at Port Sutton Bridge, and I'm videoing a couple of ships, one of which has already been unloaded. That's the Rix Pacific. That's been unloaded of its cargo of aggregate, and the tug lorries are coming round and being loaded with a...
Just gonna skip a little forward.
Okay. I have a suggestion.
All right, Dan, let's weigh him.
So I can see that the drone is like the channel at this point. We've seen it in the thumbnails now. We've seen it in this video. And I don't think they go handheld too often, if at all. I have a challenge for them. I would love it if you contacted the proprietor of that location and you asked if you could come in with a camera, like a DSLR, and film them at work doing things for your YouTube channel. Because imagine the mix, how cool it would be to get both perspectives. You can still use plenty of drone footage, but you can also talk about your experience there. You'll probably learn a thing or two. You might talk to some people while you're there, and you can pick up even more nuances of the job. People are obviously interested in this. This is a side of, just our day-to-day lives that a lot of people don't even think about, right? Like these ships are running the whole world, and we don't give them a second thought. So I think that's why this is interesting content. I think there's a huge opportunity, and you might be surprised if you reach out. They might actually be like, that would be kind of cool, actually. People are really proud of the work they do. People love to talk about themselves. You could probably get some interviews in there, which is a total different direction for the channel, I know. But I do think that would make it way more novel. It would make you seem like, you're... Because right now it looks like you're across the river where you don't need permission to film them. You know what I mean? Like, but imagine if you had access. And it might sound a little daunting, but you would be surprised how many people are like, actually, that sounds fun, and it doesn't, as long as we don't have to pay anything or do anything, sure, do it.
Should we hang around now for this channel to hit 1,000 subscribers? Like, if I do a drum roll and then refresh the page.
Yeah.
There we go. Let's take all of the credit for getting this channel to 1,000 subscribers.
Congrats.
Yeah, many congrats, Discovering Britain. I hope you found this audit of interest. I think there's two main things to focus on there. And interesting suggestion there from Dan. But what we'll do now is move on to our first gaming channel that's submitted in the forms. And they go by the name of Dimmy with 133 subscribers. And they introduce their channel like so. Their target audience is teenagers, adults, gaming challengers. And the biggest obstacle now is figuring out the next step. With my most recent video, I switched to Roblox out of my comfort zone. Now I'm stuck.
From Roblox. So they stopped.
From Roblox. I do apologize, right? Yeah. And what part of the channel do you want to focus on? How the videos flow after the hook and intro.
Awesome.
So let me just make sure that these are the most recent videos. Here we are. So it looks like a combination of, is this like Roblox and?
So they
Snap?
pivoted away from Roblox to something else. Maybe 7 Days to Die. I'm not sure what that game is.
And this is like their first video after
a pivot, which did very well compared to a lot of the Roblox videos.
Now, what we can say is we've talked about this recently, this phrase that's going around YouTube right now, which is kind of like niche bending, where they're taking titles and ideas from one market, in this case Roblox, and they've planted it into this new game, which is like a survival challenge, and it's worked really well. And these videos over the last 3 months are all getting hundreds of views, which again is promising for a gaming channel and a channel with 100 subscribers. So it feels to me, Dan, here like they said they were stuck, but this video proves that they're not stuck, and they can just continue to leverage this technique that they've got at the moment, right?
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail instantly, like when you just kind of tabbed over to this before we even started, and I'm like, oh, I know what that video is going to do. Like, I didn't know what game it was. I didn't know the premise of the whole challenge by reading the title yet. Death Equals Reset is already, I can tell it's a video game, and I can tell the stakes that are involved with 2 words. Awesome. The video before that, I also think is a good title, but it's a good example of not presenting the information in a very clear way, because you're just saying you tested 10 ripoff horror games. Why aren't you showing the page where the game is with like a star rating on it rather than like a screenshot from the video? You know what I mean? Like, I know it's done a little more better than a screenshot from the video, but it doesn't look like much is happening. Whereas your latest thumbnail tells more of a story. So there's a lot of good signals here. And I mean, it's a bit of a cop out to say this, but like, you need to keep doing whatever that is. Like that, and I think the biggest tool in your toolbox isn't necessarily is it Roblox or is it not. It doesn't tell a story.
And I think this is a good example of where with a thumbnail you've added some text, and the text just, although it's only 2 words, it's used in quite an effective way. It adds, as you said, Dan, like it gave you instant congruity, like, or understanding of what the video was about, whereas these maybe it requires a little more decoding because there isn't any text in any of these. John, I try my best not to just default to you to ask what's good about the thumbnails. So is there anything else here you've observed before we maybe watch this most recent video?
To be honest, everything that Dan said is probably like, well, it is spot on, but it's probably what I was going to say too. That last one is just so freaking clear about what's going on. I mean, if there's anything to learn, that's it. As far as the videos, I'm not so sure what ideas are best for this niche, but any gaming niche, like using the vidIQ tool and looking for outliers and maybe trying your own version of that could really benefit here. But when you look at those, look at what's working on the thumbnails too, because this is the one that seems like it worked. Every other one is like confusing to me, or it's just not very clear, I guess. But that last one is like very clear.
Let's jump in then and look at the hook of this. Just go back to the beginning.
No. In this video, I explore a nuclear apocalyptic world with one goal. Can I survive 7 days while running away from monsters, traps, and so much more? However, if I die, I cannot respawn and I reset all of my progress. Can I survive Dreadway? Let's find out with...
Blimey, so he got a lot in there in, 16 seconds?
Yeah.
And a lot of foundational YouTube tactics there. With like, what's going on, setting some stakes, and then diving into the video.
Notice how they aren't focused on what the game is called or what it's like. We can kind of get a sense of what it's about and what it's like, but they're not using the title of the game as a marketing push for the video. And I'm trying to be really clear about that, because a lot of people will pick up lesser known games and they'll use the title of the game in the thumbnail and in the title of the video. And they're like, why aren't I getting views? It's because that no one really knows what that game is, but that doesn't mean it's not a good game. That doesn't mean it's not interesting. I've never heard of this game, but I already feel like I have a good sense of it in just 16 seconds because you did a good job not bothering with what the heck it was called, when it came out, whatever. You just made it the tool you're using to tell a story. So there's a lot going on here that's right. My only critique of this video is that your bit rate is too low on your recording software, and I noticed that because of all the pixelation right there. Anytime you do anything big, run, shoot the gun, it's pixelating the whole screen. That is a low bit rate. That is my only critique for you, is raise your bit rate if your system can handle it.
And this is running at 4K, the video itself, but as I said, and the bit rate, the actual recording quality, is crushing the resolution of the video itself.
You should sacrifice 4K, 1440p, 1080, both acceptable resolutions. If you can increase the bitrate, it'll be a more enjoyable experience, even for larger screens.
And I'm just going to unmute you for a second.
Great. Increase player speed. We need to focus on getting all of this good stuff now. Missiles are heading your 10 hours.
So I think what we can also say, Dan, is like after the first 20 seconds, like there was a lot of front loading of their editing just to get something of a high impact in the hook. And now it's just more of a screen recording, but just cutting all of the rubbish, non-important bits to keep the viewer engaged. And again, that seems fine, doesn't it? Like, I would say they're spending, let's say 30, 40, 50% of their entire editing time on that first 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And then still doing editing afterwards, but they realize how important the jump in of the content is.
Yep. It seems like they know exactly what to focus on. Honestly, looking at this channel, it seems like we're one video away from this thing blowing up. They've got the skills. They've got the foundation of a YouTuber for sure. It's just get one good idea and you're golden.
I would agree with that. I don't think I can counter otherwise, other than to say,
You're
nice,
from vidIQ.
nice tactic. Whoever decided to do that. Nice work. You don't have to do it on every video that we're going to audit today. But those are the first two channels we've audited, which means that we now need to ruin everybody's audit rate to do something which I'm trying to find in the background, which is this.
Button mashing hearts collide. In this corner we take the ride. From 8-bit lands to the galaxy far. Rob's gaming corner is the brightest star.
What I'd love to do is have that music playing with that John dance thing on, but unfortunately it doesn't. Like, the video just overrides everything, and now I don't know what's happened. It's just, there we go. John's back. All right, this is a part of a live stream where we talk about how we're disconnecting from YouTube, because we don't want anybody to burn out. For a lot of us, it's playing video games. For others, it's just doing more YouTube or reading a book or going on a hike, touching grass. Making pottery. I don't know, but do let us know in the chat so that we can explore this for a couple of minutes. Dan, you've been highly recommending a cat fighting turn-based game. Is that what you've been playing all week? Or
not all week, but have you tried it yet?
It's going to be, and I'll explain why when I get to my part. It's going to be months before I get close to it.
Well, that stinks. I think you'd really like it. So yeah, Mugenics is good. I beat A Link to the Past for the first time ever. I could not have done it without outside help. I don't know how gamers did it back in the day. It's a game I missed, and I think I tried to play it when I was younger. I'm like, this is too hard. It's only too hard because it leaves you on your own. You're supposed to explore and like talk to people. Yeah. That's stupid. So I had a lot of problems with it, and I had to.
Where did you get stuck?
Everywhere. Like, it's just, it doesn't tell you, hey, you need this like special item to open this dungeon. You're just kind of like, oh, it doesn't open, and there's a symbol on the ground. I don't know what that symbol means. And yeah, it leaves you hanging a lot, and I'm glad games aren't like that anymore, but I still have fun.
This was back in the day when like a Super Nintendo game would cost like $50, and it would take you 3 or 4 months to save up to buy another game, so they had to be impossibly difficult to keep you interested.
Yeah, I get that. Like back then there wasn't as much stuff, so people sat and played that one game for a long time, even though it only takes about 15 hours to beat it. And yeah, I'm glad there's guides. I couldn't have done it without them.
So the big question now, Dan, is Link to the Past or the modern 3D Zeldas?
They both have their charms.
Come on, just
I
commit.
prefer, I prefer modern. because they handhold me. I'm just a little boy, okay? They handhold me and they get me through the game to the end. I don't have to look up a guide to play Breath of the Wild, but I had to look up a guide to play Link to the Past.
Yeah, back then you could actually call a number and they'd walk you through it.
That is right.
But once you play one Zelda game, at least back then, once you play one, every new one that came out, you kind of knew how to solve puzzles and what to look for. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of innovative compared to all the other games at the time. But yeah, I guess I would say Wind Waker.
To the Nintendo helpline. Each minute,
I remember that.
$1.49 charges. Which game are you struggling on? And so on. John, what have you been up to?
I'm a very unorganized creator, and so everything is everywhere on my Milanote. I mean, you guys have seen it. It's awful. Yeah. So I was hiring editors, and I've got one that I sent a script to, and I'm like, all right, here are all the things you need. And so it's taken me days to even get just B-roll of me doing something YouTube wise to go and find it. Every project I've ever made has been okay, let me just go find whatever I need and put it in a new folder. It's been a mess. So my game has been becoming an adult as far as being organized in my job. It's pretty awful.
Yeah. Hang on, that doesn't sound right. An adult? No, you can't use adult in front of any creative title, really, can you? Let's move on, shall we? Dan, the reason I'm not going to be able to play whatever it's called, Catgenics,
Mutagenics,
because I've just got into Borderlands 4. Oh. And if you've played any Borderlands game, you know that what it basically is endless troping around a huge map, running backwards, shooting at stuff and reloading and shooting and reloading, and trying to manage the literally billions of loot that you get. I think I'll just be stuck on that for a month. It's almost like popcorn video gaming, where you don't even think, you just know what you're going to be doing for the next hour, and it's fine. And then you start multitasking, like listening to a podcast while doing the missions. And I'm just going to be there for a month. So maybe I'll try that game afterwards.
Yeah. What console or what platform?
PS5.
Okay.
PS5. And absolutely no multiplayer stuff. I just want to complete by myself and move on to the next thing.
Speaking of PS5, last night, I got one, by the way, and I just don't use it because I've been so busy. But last night, there's this giant blue light that shined in my room when I was sleeping.
Yeah,
I had no idea what was going on, but I guess it was updating or something. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah, we do have some pretty bright lights. I forgot to mention as well, Dan, I finished the Mario World 3D Land and Bowser's Fury. Yeah. And that was a really fun game, but it was very, very short.
Oh, short?
It was just Bowser's Fury was 5 hours. It was just basically one massive level of Mario Odyssey or Super Mario 64. But it was really fun. The controls were really tight in there.
Is the main game super long?
No, I'd say that was 12 hours, 15 hours. So the whole package was maybe 20 hours. It was a good diversion.
I'm looking for some shorter games to chew through.
Yeah, I'd certainly give them both a try. Let's move on. Let's audit another channel, shall we? Thank you for allowing us to self-indulge here for a little moment. What we're going to now audit is a channel that calls themselves TJ Flying Adventures, with 3,000 subscribers, nearly 200 videos, and their target audience is general aviation pilots, not airline pilots. Quite specific there. What do you think is your biggest YouTube obstacle? Getting more impressions? It's almost like that is kind of connected to that, isn't it? In one sense. And what part of your channel do you want us to focus on? Channel layout, playlists, thumbnails, etc., etc. Right. I want to start with, I know, Dan, you picked this one, but I've gone to you first twice already, and I want John to have the opportunity to give first impressions on this one. So what can you see off the bat on this one, John?
One moment. So Fly With Us. Okay, so it's not a vlog, but that seems like a vlog video, right? It's not a vlog. Oh, it's a Flying Adventures. It's sort of like a vlog. Okay.
Hmm.
You know what? if you go and you look at popular, those thumbnails are worse than his new thumbnails. They have definitely improved. So I wonder if it's the idea. You asked me too quick. I was like searching his
I'm sorry.
his channel. What makes those pop? Like he's got one that says civilian landing on a NASA space shuttle runway.
Go back to the popular real quick.
All right, Dan.
If you tell air traffic control no, that is really interesting. Like I can see why people click that. The second video there.
Yeah, even though the thumbnail isn't quite up to scratch there with a
What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but like I don't know. It might be a topic thing. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you, John. I was just
you know what? All of his thumbnails are cut off like that. If you look at latest, they're all like cut. Yeah, the flying that like why is that?
Yeah, it's not cool. Let me just refresh this page, make sure it's not us.
I think their Canva template is letting them down.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on my end and it's bad too.
So just fixing the resolution there. What would it be? 1280 by 720, 1980 by 1920 by 1080.
Yeah,
would be the two resolutions you would want to gun for. So I guess, Dan, going back to this one, this is where you kind of like start to make it reach out to a slightly broader audience, isn't it? Whereby you're just telling what is ATC? Air traffic control. I'm not doing what you tell me to, which seems pretty dangerous.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
This feels like taking a gaming challenge and putting it into real life. What happens when I ignore air traffic control in real life?
Yeah.
But you can see, well, there's a broader appeal to that rather than being very specific with the content. And they're talking about trying to get more impressions. And it's the idea of taking this, how would I describe this? Enthusiast, amateur, pilot content. So not commercial, not professional. But maybe it is professional. I'm not quite sure.
I got something.
Make it more accessible.
Finally, sorry. The things that you're saying, like it makes me wonder if he's like avoiding curiosity. Rob, if you look at not the most recent one, but the other two, like why did he put legally on that second one? Wouldn't that make people like, okay, well, it's not that big of a deal then? And then the next one, do you think he could repackage that in a way like, will NASA let me land or something like that?
Yeah. So it's like in this one, you've maybe kind of given away the jeopardy by saying that I've managed to do it legally. Why don't you leave that until we've got into the video to find out a little bit more? And then, yeah, maybe adding a bit more interest to this one. Although the video did perform relatively well for the channel. And, view count-wise, typically speaking, for the size of a channel, 3,000 subscribers, when you're hitting low thousands, 2,000s, that's generally a good return. We just don't have that many absolute breakout videos like this one and this one.
Yeah, I think just focusing more on what makes people curious enough to click. Like the NASA let me land. Okay, so now we know the ending. Why would we click, right? Whereas like, will NASA let me land? Or I tried to land on NASA's runway. Like that would at least triple your views, in my opinion. I tried to land on NASA's runway.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not lying. You're just making it more of like a novel idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a lot of people want to be like straight up so honest in their packaging. And it's like, it's not how entertainment or TV or storytelling works at all. It might feel a little dishonest, but it's not. Like we're all here to be entertained or learn.
Well, let's click on it and see what happens in a hook.
Believe it or not, I got authorization to land at the NASA Launch and Landing Facility at Cape Canaveral.
Okay, this video's done. Shall we move on to the next one? So yeah, there is a kind of like, where's the intrigue here? And I also think you starting in what looks to be a Zoom call, to be a little critical of this. We want to be maybe starting here where you're saying, hey guys, should we go land at Cape Canaveral today? Type of, I mean, I know you don't want to make it too
silly, but like this kind of more authentic beginning might help. And maybe a moment where you're showing, do you have any images of you seeing the big space building there? Or is it all just internal
Taking notes of all the mistakes I'm making.
I'm just watching the
I
screen
think
as you're flying out.
one way to think about this video is like you started recording it too late into the process. You said you got permission, but there's a whole story that could have happened there. Like for all we know, NASA sent you on a fetch quest to like make sure your plane was properly up to snuff or something and get inspected and all that crap. And we didn't get to see any of that part. Like you call them, they're like, what do you want to do? Well, we'll let you do it on these dates, but your plane has to have like, you know, it has to meet the following standards or something like that. That would have been interesting, I think, for pilots and for non-pilots alike. Which is the other thing I wanted to say about this channel real quick before we log off of it. I don't think their target audience should be thought of as pilots. It should be thought of as anybody interested in air travel. They're already making videos for people interested in like non-commercial aircraft. So when you're thinking about this stuff, try to remember that people are going to watch this even if they're not pilots, and just keep that in mind when you're coming up with concepts for videos.
I just want to try a couple more videos about where they start them.
See that big red circle? That's the Disney.
That's a little
TFR
better.
that's
Using
been in
green
effect
screen to
since 9/11.
demonstrate
Most pilots think
enough
it's
flight zone.
completely off limits.
What about the most recent one?
All right, after a wonderful weekend in the Bahamas, it is time to go home.
I almost feel as if that's just like a more authentic, jumping straight in there kind of hook as well, in my opinion.
I see this channel and I would have a freaking field day turning these into stories. Like just rewriting the script enough to make it a story. Like every one of these could be viral because nobody has this opportunity to be in the air in a plane. Like even this civilian, the NASA landing one, he said, I just made a mistake, or I'm making mistakes. Dude, if you started the video with I'm making so many mistakes right now, and then you showed footage as your voiceover is like, so here's what's happening. Like just it's really just the structure and the way that you're presenting it that's the problem. Every one of these could be huge.
Yeah.
All right, that is TJ Flying Adventures. I think the summary there is kind of repackaging the videos to have more intrigue and storytelling in them, rather than being, I guess, for not want of a better word, being too honest with the content. And there's there's a bit of nuance in what that means, but like, watch other creators that you're interested in the same niche as you, and see how maybe they're packaging their content and how it maybe does have a little bit more ratcheting up of the stakes or the jeopardy or a story that's going to come out of it, rather than being so matter of fact. What we're going to do now is just introduce you quickly to our Discord area or vidIQ. There should be a link in the description. If you are a Boost member here of vidIQ, which means you've got all of the tools already helping you grow your channel, we're adding another little extra bonus today, which is to jump ahead of a queue in our forms and get audited right here. So if you are a Boost member and you're watching this live stream right now, go to Boost Land in Discord and Channels for Rob, add your channel here, and we have maybe 5 or 6 channels here right now compared to the 100 that we have on the main form. Submit the channel and you may get audited in around about 20 to 30 minutes time. So that is for Boost exclusive members of vidIQ. In the meantime, we're now going to go to Dan's least favorite part of the live stream, even though he did make this intro. I'm curious, John, why do you keep turning this on when one of the stingers is running?
It's automatic.
Based on what?
Vibes.
Fair enough. Right. I mean, the entire internet is vibes these days. Right, 200 submissions. And what we do is we put this number into the very slow claw and we pick out a number. And that number is 192. And then we're going to bring up the channel and we're going to audit it. Now, looking at the voting poll, it says that more than half of you want more audits and less detail. So I think what we're going to try and do here is, if we find a channel that has something glaringly obvious that you should fix, we're just going to tell you to do that or advise you to investigate that and move on to the next one. Otherwise, if there is a channel of like a real interest, then maybe we'll hang around and talk about it a little bit longer. But in the meantime, more audits, less detail. Let's see how well this works. So I'm going to show you Melody Provenzano's channel with 800 subscribers. And these are the videos long form, but they also do shorts. I'm just wondering if they're a shorts channel or a long form channel predominantly. Looks as if it's mostly
They say
mind. Okay, let's look at this for a couple of minutes. Why I painted a notoriously mean bird. The same bird, 2 mediums, 1 sped up video. Painting with black, only great practice. So I think if I was going to give a quick observation here, is that the hero of the content is the art itself. And we don't see that strongly enough in some of these, whether it's because the visuals aren't vibrant enough, or like in this case, it's text on screen and you're on screen, which maybe covers it up. Dan, quick observations from you? Anything here?
I kind of feel like we should look at like a couple channel examples of how people are structuring these titles and thumbnails, because I feel like this channel's testing a lot of different formats for videos and ideas and not really landing on anything concrete. And I don't know, what would it look like if there was like a channel that was doing like painting and speed art and stuff like that was more focused?
Yeah, so it's art and painting, but there are many forms of that, aren't they? I'm wondering what would be the search term here.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like what content bucket do you slot into?
What is this? It's like painting gift wrappers.
You could just like paint with me. I don't know if that's like what they're going for.
That's the closest thing I could imagine. I'm looking through there. Yeah, it's kind of a mix. It's difficult. Basically, what's going on here is the algorithm, it has a tough time knowing what your target audience is, because they're coming to either learn or be entertained. And like, there's just so many other channels that are very clear about what they offer. And the closest I could see on your channel is you have a couple that are sort of like challenges. If you go to popular, you'll see dead sunflower turns into an animal. But the problem is you're in there and it's not very clear what the before and after is.
Yeah.
If you remove Melody, I don't know why your name is in there, or why the number 30 is in there, or why Animal Totem is in there. But like, if it's just the before and after, then there's clarity. And then people are like, oh, okay, yeah, now I get it. I want to see how that was done. I'll click. But you've removed the star of the show by adding all that extra stuff. And then the second one, season 1, round 1, I honestly don't think the seasons and stuff it's relevant right now, at least. 30 seconds to masterpiece, that makes sense. Like, what can I do in 30 seconds? It's a great package. But then the title is like, whoa, all new creative game show, 30 seconds to masterpiece, round 1, season 1. There's just a lack of clarity over all of this.
30 seconds to masterpiece could be a blank canvas with a paintbrush on the canvas as the thumbnail, like Ready, Set, Go kind of like feeling, instead of a really like complex thumbnail with a lot of elements scattered on it.
Yeah, there's nothing about paint in that at all, in that packaging.
When we talk about sometimes thumbnails, every single thumbnail on a channel looks like it comes from a different channel.
Yeah.
You could almost argue that for like the entire video, in a sense that their quote unquote niche is painting, but beyond that, like, it's like they reset the target audience, the topic, everything when they start a new video. And I think trying to develop some consistent layers and foundations for the channel is probably what they want to look at going forward, especially certainly for the long form content. We've not spent too long on the shorts, where they have, you know, even some of these just freeze frames from the thumbnails actually look like decent thumbnails in some of these.
Artist vlog. Okay, I get it. That's like the closest thing. They wrote artist vlog in one video, and now I'm like, okay, now I can understand how everything kind of fits into it. It's more about you. But with that, there's a risk of like just people not like really. I don't know how to pitch a vlog straight out as a new person, but when you offer value, vlogs are really about storytelling, I guess, in my opinion.
Also, final thing, is GoDaddy still a thing? I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that in, I don't know when. Goodness
I
me.
think a proper URL if you can. I think big
You
URL.
might want to use Bitly or something on that. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Another channel 43 this time. Target audience is the United States. America, man. Is that because you think the CPMs are going to be higher there?
Probably.
The channel is Mr. Brave for business inquiries and collaborations. Check them out. Predominantly a shorts channel with some high view counts from their 6,500 subscribers. I think actually their target audience is soccer fans / iShare Speed fans, are the guess. I think I'm going to have to look at one of these.
I see the fume coming out of his headphones. It's just the steam.
Let's see how transformational this content is. And we'll try and explain why in a second. Speed FIFA pack opening Messi. Oh, let me.
CB. Messi. Argentina. Cam. PSV. France.
Is that it? No, I don't know if it's...
Messi.
Oh, we have loops there, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, John, do you want to steam out here?
I don't think you want me to, honestly.
All right.
I'll just be honest. You won't get monetized, and this video or this channel has no longevity whatsoever.
And this, this is because of a transformational conundrum, right? It feels like they're taking somebody else's content, maybe adding some subtitles, maybe splitting the screen into, like, it was a long form content, but have turned it into vertical. But that's not enough in the eyes of a monetization point of view.
Yeah, they'll come back and say, well, all these other channels do it. And that's usually the argument. This is stealing content, just straight up. And it's like, I get it. Everybody does it. And I mean, this is what YouTube is aiming to get rid of, not along with AI slop is what they said, but it's repetitive content, re-uploaded content. If YouTube has seen the content over and over, sure, you'll hit the 30K jail. Maybe you might get views, but it's like, I don't really know what the end game is there. This is why CapCut templates is another target, because people can just load it in the CapCut and then put it on YouTube. It used to make people money. It doesn't anymore. But yeah, there's ranking too. That's stealing times 5. All right, I'm just going to back up on this one.
So yeah, I mean, John, I know you're being kind of blunt about this, but the ultimate.
No, I'm not.
From a vidIQ threshold of bluntness, let's put it like that. But like you, if you go onto the YouTube Partner Program and look at their inauthentic content policy, and we don't work at YouTube, but this is kind of feel as if it's matching some of those aspects where it's replicated. It doesn't look as if it's transformed the original content, so on and so forth. They haven't hit monetization yet because they've not got 10 million shorts views. But once they hit that, I think it's going to be a struggle. And I think this is where we should employ the less detail, more audits, and leave it at that. Yeah, let's do one more channel here.
You mean before something else, not
Before
that
something
we're
else,
done.
yeah. Sorry, we've got plenty of channels still to audit. Thanks, Dan, for clarifying there. 160.
And please don't leave the live stream. We're not done.
Okay, look at this. They're very targeted here. Bray Wonders Football Club and League of Ireland. All right. The Bray Lad, 41 subscribers. And not too much content yet. They've taken a big break and they posted their most recent video just a day ago. So I think my first suggestion here would be, let's try and commit to some consistency. Whatever that cadence that is, if it's once a week, once a month, twice a month, whatever, like for the next 3 to 6 months, make sure you stick to that cadence so that your audience has something to come back to occasionally. Because, you know, from the first 3 videos, you got 100 views, you got into triple digits. I think that's something to celebrate early on.
Yeah.
What about thumbnails and titles? Well, I'll throw it over to the two of you.
The newest video that you just put out. So since you're so small, people don't care about your predictions. Like, that's just because nobody knows who you are. And that's what every YouTuber, that's how it starts. So when you just say, here are my predictions, people will say, I don't care. I'll follow somebody's predictions that I know, like, or trust. But if you change your packaging to like showing your prediction, this is why this guy will win, basically. Don't say it like that, but you know what I mean? Like, this is the player and they will win, or this team will win. And then they'll click it to understand that this is your explanation is in the video. So you start out with your prediction and then they click to understand why.
You're giving like an opinion up front, which almost creates some form of conflict or conversation.
Yeah.
Before we even click into it. Yeah.
Yeah, if a player got fired, you could be like, so and so got fired, and you express that you disagree somehow. Leading with opinion is going to be the thing that sets you apart.
They've done kind of news updates as well in the past, and I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. When people are supporting a club or a franchise, just always remember that you want to try and inject some opinion into that as well. Let's watch this most recent video for.
With the 2026 League of Ireland First Division season finally upon us, I wanted to go through my season predictions.
I really can't hear them at all.
Yeah, it is at full volume.
He's shown now the last year and a bit.
So in terms of production, just getting either a better microphone, a microphone that's closer to your voice, or up in the gain before you, or up in the volume before you upload to YouTube, will be the first suggestions there from a production point of view. And
they're here. I guess they feel like they're primarily shorts, which is good to know.
Well, we apologize for all of that time we spent talking about that. All right, and let's look at one of these. I'll try this one.
So, lads, decent result against
Watford
last night. You would definitely take the point. You know, it was tough. It was always going to be tough. New group of lads coming in. But at the same time, you obviously want to get off to a good start. You want to win the first game of the season, and we just couldn't do that, unfortunately. But we shared the point.
So I think what would instantly improve this is having B-roll of you being at the match, maybe some highlights, not necessarily like official coverage highlights, but like maybe stuff that you recorded at the ground, assuming you were able to get there. Or if you weren't, like at least putting a score at the bottom of the screen, maybe like the scorers, so I didn't know a bit more context as well. Because I don't even know what also it was a 1-1, but I don't think you even mentioned that at the beginning of the shot. You just went into, it was a good result, the lads did well.
So like it kind of assumes a new viewer is going to read that title. They're going to know who you're talking about, what you're talking about. I even just like still images. If you don't want to use video for risking your channel, like some still images would help. Definitely logos with scores under them. Yeah, all that stuff. We need visuals. You got to be thinking about the person who swiped to your short who's never seen your channel before. They just got done watching a cat video and then they swipe to you. What's the first thing they see?
Here instantly, there's more visual intrigue, right? They've got a collection of players at the bottom. They put captions on. This is a lot more consumable, I think, even with it muted. So more effort being put into the edit a little bit.
If you want these to blow up, like, it's a good point that people don't understand. They won't read the title either. The only people that are seeing this are in the shorts feed mostly, and they're swiping. And then you're like, yeah, the guys did well. And they're like, I don't even know what this is about. I'm going to swipe again. And so the key is you want to hook with a visual at least, and you need to end on the thing that they were curious about the whole time. Like, if you want these to blow up, then hold the best piece of information until last. And that's really like the trick to shorts, as vague and simple as that is. So if you got something to offer, something new, something of value outside of your opinion, like just or even like, here's why it happened, but first I need to tell you what happened in the game. And so they have to hold out for the why at the end. Like, yeah, think of what interesting piece of information or interesting point of view you have, and then craft the way you say it towards the end. And honestly, even if it's 10 seconds or 15 seconds, that's fine. It could be a couple sentences, but keep them till the end, and YouTube will thank you for that.
Now, one final thing to add is that there is an understandable small ceiling. I'm a football/soccer fan, and I've never heard of Bray Wanderers Football Club. I guess it's a League of Ireland club, and even I think their official channel has only 300 subscribers, and videos on their channel are not cracking any more than 1,000, like 3,000. So just be aware that you could already be speaking to the majority of your audience, which is cool. And you may be like the only person who's talking about Bray Wanderers Football Club on YouTube, except for the club itself. And so
I had no idea.
An interesting position to be in. Look, they appear in the shorts. They're already dominating the shorts.
You could do, if you wanted some more views, I don't know how often you could repeat this, but you could do a video about why you think they're going to get promoted. Like, this is the year you're going to learn about this team, this club. But it's not, I'm not in the niche. I don't know all the different nuances, but I do know that much. Like, if they're that small, that means they're in a lower league, and that's why no one's heard of them. So they're working towards promotion. How are you feeling about their odds?
If you're at the top of your niche and you want to stay at the top, look at other similar channels in your niche or neighbor niches. Like, look at football reviewers. It's football. So like, see what they do, what keeps you to the end, and then kind of mimic that, but with your own information. Like, see how their formats are set up. That's what I usually do for my clients, creators.
See if you can go to the games and get like a media credential too. I don't know how hard that would be, but you could be getting interviews firsthand.
That'd be
True.
Cool. That Bray lad, then a good look on your channel. Now we need to distract ourselves once again with a bit more of entertainment, quote unquote. This is what you memed last week, and it was all down to Dan. I mean,
what?
That was a classic. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. And that is memes of the week for last week. And I have not thought or prepared anything for this week. So
it's pretty easy, Rob.
It's over to you again. Do you want to be our guinea pig? Yes or no?
Sure.
All right. So what you need to do is over the next 10 seconds or so, I mean, if you want,
the whole time,
is screenshot whatever John's going to do over the next 5 to 10 seconds, and then start preparing some memes of these. Oh, wonderful faces. Excellent stuff, John. Keep working it. Keep going.
It's all grand stuff. So once our wonderful vidIQ overlord has posted some of those images into this Discord channel, which is called Memes of the Week, which I should probably actually share now. Hang on, there we go. If you go to Memes of the Week, it's a public area of our Discord group. You don't need to pay. You don't need to be a Boost member or anything. Start memeing John, and in around about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, we will look at those memes and we'll pick one of them for a channel audit. Excellent stuff as always, John. Thank you very much for your contribution.
You're welcome.
What we do now is let's pick one of the channels from our Boost Discord, since we're in the area, to get selected. So, Dan, I'm going to ask you today to close your eyes and then tell me to stop so that I can pick one of these channels. Whenever you... Was that your voice?
Yeah, stop.
Right, okay, I did it, yeah. Well done. DT Smolder is the channel we're going to audit, and they have 50 subscribers. They've made 11 videos, and they are a Minecraft channel. And we can say, Dan, that their last video made 3 weeks ago was a hit for them. I think their highest video so far, 350 views. Is this the best village trade? How can they build on that going forward?
So asking more questions like that, whether or not that's a parody or an actual tutorial, I don't really care either way. Asking more questions like that will be more unique than I tried to make a barn for my animals in Minecraft, which videos like that, like I like that it's clear, but it's also like, if the barn was really impressive, if you zoomed out and showed me like an incredible barn, just an incredibly detailed build, then I'd be like, that's not a barn, that's a masterpiece. But because it just looks like a kind of a regular old barn from the front and I'm seeing some animals, but the latest video, it is asking an interesting question. I think for people who play the game, they might be like, oh yeah, I don't really pay attention to trading villagers these days that much. Maybe there's like a really unique way to kind of like break the game a little bit and get a leg up, or maybe it's just a meme or something like that. But I like the thumbnail a lot. It's raising curiosity. And if your Let's Plays are going to be in this realm of like, I'm just making a barn, and you're not like this incredible builder or anything like that, then lean into this skill set of like picking apart different pieces of the game and asking interesting questions.
The thumbnail suggests like a secretive trade. There's this enchanted book that does something, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah, they blurred it out.
This person is trying to maybe buy it off them. And that kind of, I saw the thumbnail at first, and then it kind of just told me a little bit more the more I looked at it, which was interesting for me, because it got my curiosity straight away, but then it kept delivering.
I'd like to say, just as this size, you have these parts. I don't think that's very powerful as a small channel. I always tell people that, like, if you're going to do series and stuff, it's fine if you really enjoy it. But if you want to grow, like appealing in single packages like this, it'll be your bread and butter for a little while until you get big enough to where people want series content out of you. And so like they're just looking for little digestible pieces to get a preview of your personality. And then that's how you get them. And so a trick to this is just like most, best, fastest, cheapest, coolest, like think about, is this the best? Is this the best? This is the best. Like, even if you say this is the best something in Minecraft, that will get more views than 9. I promise you.
I was going to mirror what you were going to say there, John. I'm pleased to see that they've decided to move away from episodic part content right now, and it seems as if they've been immediately rewarded with this latest video.
And that could be part of the same series too, for all we know.
Yeah, it could be. Exactly.
That's exactly what they should do then. Like, every video is an entry point for a new viewer, so treat it as such.
Let's watch it.
2 emeralds. I don't have nearly that much, but this librarian wants them for the book that I want. So let's get into it. Whoa, wait, I just realized. No way. Oh, we're getting a horse this episode. Oh, yeah. What I would like to do...
I want every YouTube video to start with, I'm getting a horse this episode.
That was a solid start, because you even like hit the obstacle right away. Like, this is the deal.
Yeah.
This is what I got to do. This is my problem. And then people are like, okay, now I know the stakes. Let's see. And yeah, the horse was just a great continuation of the of the hype.
Yeah.
Here. Let's
At its
find
core,
some horse here, right?
Go on, Dan.
at its core, this is going to be an episode of your series, it looks like, about like making enough money to attain a certain goal that tells a story, a beginning, a middle, and end. You don't have 42 emeralds. You're going to go out, you're going to try and get them. In the middle, something's probably going to happen that's like a eureka moment, like, oh, I don't need to trade villagers for them. I can mine for them. There's this whole mine here with all these emeralds. And then at the end, we finally get to see the trade. Maybe there's a twist somewhere in the middle as well. Like that, think about every video you make is a story like that. And yes, I know recording Let's Plays, you don't exactly know what's going to happen when you hit record. That's kind of like the fun of it. But you do know what happens after you've finished recording. And you can structure your editing and your packaging around that. As long as you go into the recording session with one clear goal in mind, that story starts to tell itself.
And would we agree that the audio probably needs improving a bit? I'll just unmute it.
Got a bit of emeralds to grind here.
Yeah.
So let's see what kind of trades can I make with you guys. So beetroot.
Sounds a bit echoey.
Yeah.
I can understand what they're saying. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, kind of hollow, kind of echoey, but not too terrible. Like it's,
if you're able to front load a little bit of information to match the packaging in the intro, like, and then and later this trade happens and you're not going to believe whatever, and then you continue the story, at least people will stick around because they know they're getting what they expect from your packaging. I didn't see the mystery in this intro, whereas like, is this the best trade? You talked about trading, but that question, I didn't see you like ask that in the intro. So you might want to go back and make sure you like include a little bit of detail for whatever. And I like what Dan said, like, you don't know what to expect when you're doing a Let's Play, but you can find the coolest part of that Let's Play and front load it and use the packaging. And that's what I always tell Let's Players, like, what's the best, coolest part? And then like reframe it to be about that. That's exactly what you did here, which is great.
Your YouTube adventure starts right here, DT Smolder, with all of the good things that have happened from this video and the things that we've suggested you may want to do next. All right, the chat is working again. We had just a couple of super chats, so I'll quickly blast through them now. I'm not even going to do the intro thing this time. We have a big up to Rob, co-host, and chat. Hit the likes. You are a member, so you get a custom sound effect for the week, which is that. And we've got a question here from Film Form Studios. Does adding a vid to watch later affect CTR?
It's an interesting question. Like,
my guess is it does, but like, you're worrying about like an infinitesimal number of impressions there.
I use watch later as a viewer. Like, I use it every day, every single day. I'm hitting videos because I'm not going to watch all these videos right now, but usually something is served in my recommended feed. I'm like, I'm going to watch that later. And I literally do. And I clean out the list and everything. I don't think it's because I'm not clicking on the thumbnail to click. I click the three dots and I click watch later. I don't think I've done anything to like trick you, or not trick YouTube, but push YouTube to like, oh, I've watched this video, but then I stopped. I didn't do that because I hit the three dots and then said watch later. And then YouTube is going to continue to serve the video to me now because I've put it on my watch later list. And that is the interesting part, is like, does that affect their CTR? And like Rob said, I'm one guy. Most people probably are not using it like I am. So probably not. YouTube is also putting other stuff on my recommended feed too, next to the watch later stuff. And I imagine they have to know. Watch later is a whole tab on the YouTube homepage. They have to know that like that data is going to be measured differently because they are forcefully putting it in front of me because I've basically asked them to do that.
I was going to wonder about this. If actually the act of adding a video to a watch later is a positive signal for the video itself, in the sense that, oh, it wasn't a click, but I'm so interested in this video that I want to save it and watch it. Like, I guess if the conversion wins, like if you save it for later and then click on it, like, is that like an added bonus benefit? But again, we're talking about such small numbers.
It's curious, yeah.
There's I don't think it affects CTR, but there's another metric that YouTube gets a lot of signals for how great a video is, and playlist save is one of those metrics. And I guarantee that's what watch later.
Watch later is a playlist.
Yeah, yeah, good point. And the other super chat, unfortunately, from let me try and read them right. Rari to Ez or Easy. Can you analyze mine only doing shorts? Unfortunately, we don't
audit channels based off of super chats because we don't want to create a financial barrier to what is like a free forum for all of you. But we do want to make sure that we read out your super chats and the $5 there. Those are all of the super chats. Please don't send any more in because they will not be read out at this point. What we're going to do now is try and blast through some more channels to audits.
Traveling with Russell says there's a graph somewhere in YouTube Studio that shows where you can see the number of people who added a video to watch later. And John mentioned the same thing. That's really cool.
I've got to check all my numbers now. So we have 287 channels. I want to make sure they're all included here.
The only weight I would put into that is I would just think to yourself, I must have done something right with this packaging. People can't watch it right now, but they want to be reminded. It's way stronger than a subscribe button.
Oh, so that's an interesting one, isn't it? We should do a poll on that. Is watch later more important than the subscribe button?
I think so. I think watch later is going to push it to you over and over again, where a subscribe button doesn't seem to do that.
I'd like Spiffing Brit to do a video where he has a video that says, like,
don't watch this now.
Like, don't watch this. Just click watch later.
We should.
Maybe we should beat him to that. Brainiac's Trivia Vortex. Okay, I'm getting certain vibes from this channel, but what I will say is it has kind of brand identity. It has its own IP, and it's doing quizzes from certain eras, maybe 2000s and earlier. And each of them is 20 minutes long as well. And from 67 videos to have 10K subscribers and 20 minutes, and thousands of views each video. I think it's kind of passed through a certain threshold. So I think we should just watch one of these.
Yeah, I got to see this.
Do you remember them? Let's go.
And not much common sense. Can you survive this 80s trivia? Welcome, humans. It's Melvin, back to judge your earthly intellect, this time in the land of MTV, malls, mixtapes, and mullets. Get ready for trivia about global dramas, pop culture explosions, weird fads, technological leaps.
All right, let's just bed. It's Prince, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's Prince.
Come on, get in. All right, what do we think?
I gotta say something here. There's a difference between low effort and AI. If you look at this channel, it's not like you guys got to realize that effort actually went into this.
Mm-hmm.
You can generate things with AI, but AI can't just generate this whole. There's no one button press and then this is done. Like that clearly took work. And I'm not a fan of like AI stuff, especially with as much crap as it produces. But like, if you take it as a starting point and turn it into whatever this is, then like, I personally don't have a problem with it. I know YouTube doesn't, because you can't take this video and put it on another channel and then it makes sense. Like this isn't a problem, but the people that are just like AI bad, like, look, low effort bad. Like I can use AI and Photoshop or whatever to fix up a thumbnail. It doesn't mean that I'm a lazy creator. AI, like, you guys need to focus on those that put no effort into something and then expect the same results as you, that they feel entitled to make the same amount of money as you because they just pressed a button. Those are the enemies, not people that just like use AI as a tool. AI is a tool. Sorry, it's not a creator.
But I think there's a level of consistency that takes effort to get right in the content here. I still feel as if it was a bit of a pacing issue, especially with the beginning of that trivia one. But that would be my only kind of real critique here. So, like, Dan, is there anything here that you like to add? I'm going to start playing another one and mute it.
If you mute it. I made a video recently that didn't get a ton of views. It was called, I changed the title yesterday. It was called How to Survive the AI Takeover YouTube or something similar to that effect. And the premise of the video is basically like, whether you use AI very heavily in your content or you're completely anti-AI, we all have one goal, and that is to get humans to watch our videos. Either way, the AI people don't want bots watching their videos any more than you do. It's to get humans to watch their videos. And I said in that video that there are people who understand these concepts and they're using AI, whether you like it or not, and they are going to be leveled up compared to you because they have the fundamentals down. So whether you use AI or not, you need the fundamentals. This channel, whether I like this channel or not, has the fundamentals. I don't like the AI voice. I don't like the AI animation. They could hire an animator. They could do the voice themselves. I acknowledge all of that. My preference would be if they did that, because if they took this branding and leveraged it from a full human perspective, they do even better, in my opinion. The fact remains, though, that like, even though I don't like this, it works. It is working. They're getting a lot of views, and the comments are engaging with it, and it's serving a purpose. We've seen so many quiz channels that seem to not be using AI, and they are not getting these views because they also are missing the fundamentals. They're missing that branding. They're missing like that whimsy that comes with having a quiz channel where, again, even though I don't like this, I have to admit that this channel has those things going for it. It's hitting those benchmarks. So if you don't like this, fine, but I would at least give them that. The branding is very, very consistent, which is something we don't see often. We see a lot of AI channels every week that do not make it on this live stream because we would just find ourselves saying the same thing over and over about them.
Yeah,
this isn't one of those channels.
Now I think we've talked for the last 2-3 minutes there, kind of justifying why this is a perfectly acceptable AI channel on YouTube. And so in terms of what they could potentially do to improve here, I certainly think the intro just took too long. You do need some sort of intro, I think, but maybe cap it at around 30 seconds, because for repeat viewers, I guarantee what they're going to do is when they click on the video, they're just jumping the first minute to start the first question.
Yeah, good point.
Unless you can add some sort of more personality or comedy or storytelling that makes that intro unique. But beyond that, I guess it's just making sure that you're sticking to the topics that really work. Like TV trivia seems to be one that's really successful. Have you done one of them for the 90s? I don't know. We'd have to probably search down there.
This is so interesting. I wonder if they're aiming at an older demographic because they don't care.
Oh, they don't care as much about the fact that it's AI. Yeah.
Or they don't know. Yeah. That's an interesting. Yeah. The less abrasive to the fact that it's AI and they're just like a quiz.
Yeah, like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, the TV trivia seem to be the better ones there. And then that one had 50 trivia questions, so maybe squeezing in more trivia questions is something to work on as well. Well, those are the only kind of AI, the channel recommendations I can see there, because it looks like you've got something nice running there. Yes.
How often are they posting? Just curious. I'm wondering if there's like a pipeline here.
The latest.
Every 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, 3 weeks, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense then. Every 3 to 4 days. I mean, that's how much effort it would take for them to get the questions and get the animations done and put it all together in the editing. And okay. If it was a pipeline, if it was every day, then I'd have more of a problem with it.
Yeah.
Because I would know like that. Come on.
All right. I'm going to do a gaming channel this time, because we haven't done many of them yet.
And then memes, it seems like. So make sure you get your memes in.
Just a couple more minutes to get your memes in. So Gigablocks with 4,000 subscribers. It looks like they're definitely a shorts channel. So let's dive into the shorts. And
wow.
I'm at a point where I say, hey, you're getting hundreds of thousands of views on these shorts. Don't let me disrupt what you're doing.
This seems like, John, something for you to sink your teeth into here.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Not to throw it at you, but you're here on a good day if shorts creators are asking for some advice and they're getting 100K views.
OPT versus that word, all classes PT one nights.
Okay.
That's one reason why they're getting a
Yeah.
views. Do you want me to watch one of these or?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to just play the latest one, the 11K views.
All right.
Best class in 99 Nights in the Forest isn't Cyborg or Vampire. But before we choose anything, the class has to pass 3 requirements. First, it can't be too expensive. It has to be accessible for everyone. So classes like Cyborg or Vampire that cost way too much are automatically excluded. Second, it has to be easy to use.
Wow, that is an overload. But I think within like the first second, you see the editing, the quality, you can understand why these shorts are performing well.
Yeah, I would say that they really just they're experimenting with a lot of different ideas, and then they'll double down on the ones that work. This is like, I just wonder how many people are asking that. I don't know if it's education or what, because it seemed like that's what it was. Yeah, I was expecting like storytelling, but it seemed like it was more information based.
Mm-hmm.
Guess the mob, and some of these are games. Man, maybe this is out of my. I think this is out of my realm. Like, I see so many Roblox channels, but this is one where it takes a lot of information for me to know that I just don't know. I don't play this game. Honestly, dude, I think you're doing what you need to do. You're experimenting, and then you're doubling down on ideas that work.
So just go to the most popular ones. I'll guess the mob in 60 seconds is their continued outlier.
This
all
is
of them
new,
100,000 views plus.
New fairy biome, 99 nights in the forest. What is that one? Is that like
Right.
a?
Yep.
Yeah, you're probably gonna. Okay. All right. I don't know. Sorry, dude.
Welcome to the vidIQ nightclub. We're buffing. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, I usually when meme channels come in my Discord, I'm just like, I don't know what you want. You just post the new meme, dude. And if you're the first one to do it, you'll get views.
It's funny. You do have to test a lot of stuff if you're memeing. Like if you're coming up with stuff, like you just got. It's kind of like being a comedian on stage. You got to tell jokes. You got to see what sticks and what doesn't. And that's why a lot of comedians carry notepads. And they're like, well, okay, all right, that one didn't work.
I mean, just going back to their form, do you think hooks are a problem? Doesn't feel like it to me.
Well, the people that I help, I'm usually all about clarity, and this seems like it doesn't have it to me. But also, I'm not 9 years old, so like maybe it does have it to 9-year-olds. But I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know if it was a good or bad hook. I didn't even hear a hook.
It has to relate to the people who play those games. And if you're playing a very popular Roblox game and people immediately recognize what's happening in it, it almost doesn't matter as long as it's for that audience. So it's like, this is like hyper focused content. I think they're doing a good job. It's kind of interesting they're coming to us. It's like, well, what more could we say? If you can make content like this for this very hyper focused audience, then I guess I would think about branching out, maybe even on another channel, and think about another audience that you could reach with your obvious skill set of being hyper focused and hyper targeted in particular niches.
If you're really good at that, you're set. You're very set.
Good, yeah.
Like they just branched to like Zelda games or whatever that's slower paced, and then they nail it. Then we're like, okay, maybe you're just a genius then.
Yeah.
Watch it be like a 40-year-old.
I think the memes of the week are safe for the vidIQ environment. So let's dive in here and see what you've submitted. Those were your options. What did you do with them?
Oh God!
I knew it. I knew that right away.
Yes, that's definitely not an AI generated image of cheese on pancakes. Dan, proof. If ever
I like how
it's
falling on me.
Yeah.
It's also a Star Trek channel, so they've got a big chance of being picked this week. All right, next one. That's a bit harsh, but you kind of.
I'm guessing it's their thumbnail.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
In there.
No, I just imagine John being like that for like 45 minutes every morning, just thinking about new video ideas.
Staring at a mirror,
walking around the house with that facial expression. Okay.
Yep,
that's a good one. Okay. Oh, you turned into a vampire.
Oh, okay, I see.
Cool. That's just. I don't know.
It's the same channel too.
We get meme theft here.
No, they just put their own meme in again.
That would be so funny. Somebody stole another person's meme.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, arrows.
Yep.
What? Good God.
It's great.
Is that actually a video, do you think?
That has to be. What?
Gotta be.
Yeah,
Did they
look at that
search-
text.
oh,
It's
hang on.
too fantastic.
I want to try and find that video now. What would I search for? Cat on
Just
a
look at the channel name. It's right there.
Futuristic AI. Fantastic AI.
ride blue cola. Oh, can't be.
I
it's
think it's
gonna
like
take too long
fun
to
or
find it.
funny-tastic AI, something like that.
AI.
What's with that block? Did you
I don't know.
like? What's with that square there?
What is this?
Oh.
That looks more like a muffin or a crumpet than pancakes. So I'm not going to allow that. Mm-hmm. It's the person from last week, isn't it? Nice try. I don't think we're going to pick you this week, though. That was a good effort here.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
What are you wearing? Nice. Yeah. There's always somebody who does that. Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah, that's mean.
Hey, they changed my face.
Yeah, you've been AI'd there. So it's not,
I guess, yeah.
It's not
I was gonna say my
technically-
face can't do that. The algorithm just feels different.
All right. Do we have a winner, John? These are your memes. Pick a winner.
I guess the Star Trek one.
Yeah, are we going Star Trek just because we're both fans? Okay, so hailing frequencies open at the Geek Room. 2,000 subscribers, 400 videos. Okay, and some very, very busy thumbnails with lots of text and AI generated images of yourself, it looks like here.
So like the latest video sounds
yeah.
like it's addressing like a controversy of some kind in the community. And I feel like the easiest win with thumbnails like that is to just take the social media post that was kind of blowing up and like put it in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
It looks like they're relying on like an AI version of themselves to be the face of all the thumbnails, and it's making the thumbnails feel like not super specific to the topic.
I'm wondering, do they have an aversion to using the Star Trek logo imagery characters? Because just when you instantly look at these, they don't feel like Star Trek thumbnails.
Yeah.
And, like usually I can spot them immediately when I'm scrolling through YouTube.
I would first of all, stop using this AI version of yourself. It is like I would never click this because you're giving me the impression that it's just an all AI channel. That's like,
And it's not like they're in their studio.
Yeah.
It's a good looking setup.
Yeah.
dude, even just a picture of that, I would click first. But there
look
was
at this. Sorry, they've got Eagle Moss Star Trek models. Oh, welcome to my world. You got the Defiant. Is that the Enterprise NX with a whole? Sorry.
Yeah, you look like an authority in the space, and you're ruining it.
So, like, some kind of stylized version of this thumbnail could be used every once in a while, or become like the main backdrop.
I would personally go the charisma on command route. If you go back, there's one thumbnail he has that points out why do Klingons look different, and it's Worf. And if you got rid of all the other crap and just had Worf and then something pointing at his head and then like a word or two, like what is that, right? And then it points at his head, or what's the point of this? What, like, just something that would make me curious enough to click anything, right? Oh yeah, like the simplest thumbnails will win. Why did the uniform change colors? That's great. Man, why did you change the thumbnails? These were working.
Yeah, and obviously you're taking advantage here of you having the outfits and the uniforms, which is cool. I almost feel as if you should just wear one of them every single time you're in front of camera.
Yeah.
And that allowed that. If you want to be in the thumbnail yourself, that can lead into it very naturally. Anyway, shall we watch one of the videos? The latest one. Let's jump into this one.
hailing frequencies where we like talking about Star Trek. Now, you've probably seen the loud debate online. Starfleet Academy is facing furious hate on social media. Fans are showering it with angry words. Even people who claim not to care about Star Trek are suddenly outraged. But before we join that chorus, consider this. Is the frenzy really about the show, or is there something else driving it? So stay tuned because the answer might surprise you.
Uh-oh.
Here we're going to have a look at how this controversy
Hang
has
on, yeah.
unfolded and why it's bigger than just one series and what you can do to fight back.
Buckle in. Pause right there.
This is the
it is cute.
weirdest feeling right now, because normally I would say no.
Yeah.
But because it's a Star Trek channel, that just gave me such a good feeling. That I have no idea what to say now.
Do you think you should have done a voiceover saying, YouTube, the creator, frontier. These are the viewers of my channel.
Oh man. By the way, in your intro, when you say welcome to the channel where we do blah blah blah, get rid of that. Like, just start right on the topic.
Yep.
And as you were saying, Dan, he's telling but not showing. Like we've had this fiore, and like let's have some examples. And you know, it doesn't have to be fancy editing. It could just be like you switch it to the text on screen or the social media post. Because I'm kind of worried that it is just all talking head throughout the entire video. So we do actually have some comments. So like just more of simple B-roll like that. Like,
yeah.
If you had that somewhere in the beginning, that has the impact of the fiore around Academy, Star Trek Academy.
Yeah, man.
But if it's about a recognizable show and people are mad about it, like that should have been in the thumbnail. You could have, without you or your AI version, you have a screenshot of the characters that people recognize, and then a comment, a Reddit post, something of someone going, blah, you know, just someone angry about it, and boom, there's your thumbnail done. Like, try to make your thumbnails recognizable to people who are looking at them. I know people who like go from making live action thumbnails to like AI ones feel like I can't make a thumbnail look like this. This looks to me so much better than what I'm capable of producing. But it's not really about the aesthetic at the end of the day, although that's part of it. It's just communicating a message. And if people just see like an AI person covering their ears and some symbols around them, that doesn't say Star Trek. It doesn't say anything. Like, I would really go back to what you were doing before with thumbnails and then think about other things. You don't always have to be in the star of the thumbnail. Like both John and Rob said, like the Star Trek is very recognizable. Like, use it to your advantage. Every other channel in this topic who is successful is probably doing just that.
Have you guys done a recent thumbnail, like how to make better thumbnails video, or was mine the last one?
We got one in the works coming up soonish.
Okay. Yeah. Really, it seems like you just need a like basic knowledge of what, because there's so many elements in these thumbnails that any thumbnail tutorial would tell you not to do that.
And we got
also, you can't read the text. Like, it's just very
15 words, tons of colors, contrasting. You've removed the human out of the thumbnails. Like, there are too many to really go into details, but I think, John, you're right. We just go back to that. Like, well, hang on. Let's edit this for a second. On editing here, like you remove that, and that just has a clear intrigue and instant recognition.
Yeah, I don't think Trek trivia would make me click as much as like
get
a
rid of
point.
that.
Yeah, or even the old Klingon to new Klingon. That's all you need. Very cool.
Yeah. So you're left with that. So you look at these two things in the title. Why do Klingons look so different? The real reason. And if I remember rightly, this is because in Enterprise, the Klingons wanted to use the DNA from the
eugenics wars of humans, and it went wrong, and that's why some of them lost their cranial skeletal features. Have you watched Enterprise, John? Is that on your docket?
I've watched Next Gen and Deep Space Nine.
Okay. Enterprise, it's good, but you got to get to the third season where the Xindi appear.
You know, I think I started it and I couldn't get past like the first two.
It's pretty boring. It's like it's standard like Voyager fare. The first couple of seasons of Voyager, which is just like, hey, we've encountered an anomaly this week, and that's it. But then it gets into like a season-long story arc. We could talk Star Trek all day, maybe, possibly. There's still 400 people here, apparently, which is great. But that does bring us to the end of another week of channel audits. Let us know in the chat, in the comments, if you thought we went a little bit faster and if it was more helpful this week. And I don't know, we'll be back on Tuesday or Wednesday. We haven't quite decided yet. Feels like Wednesdays are a little better than Tuesdays, so we'll see. John will do his jig. Dan, pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me.
And
look, I dressed background chic today.
Say bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for your time. We appreciate